What is up, everyone? Wow, that sounded weird. I normally say, "What's up, guys?" Um, welcome to the 27th episode of the Trackside Girls podcast. We're gonna try to speed run, our race weekends and information because we have a surprise guest this episode. Um, and you guys will find out towards the end. So stick around. But as always, NASCAR first. Xfinity and Cup were in Michigan this past weekend. I feel like both of the races had eventful things happen. But let's start off with the Xfinity race. Ryan Ellis and Joey Gaze had to go to the rear for unapproved adjustments. And the race was delayed, the start of it, due to rain. But it was Sheldon Creed that got pole. And it was lap 16 for the first caution where Taylor Gray spins by himself from 7th, bringing out the caution. They get back going, and the next caution is lap 25 for Sheldon Creed, spinning from the lead after Riley Herbst gets near his rear bumper, bringing out the caution. Did they okay, I know you guys were paying attention because it's Riley. Did they actually make contact?
No.
They never made contact.
Okay. So they get restarted, and so Riley is leading. Ryan Sieg to win stage 1. Rain, pops up, so they have to red flag it. Let's see. So they were on a time crunch. As far as I know, Michigan does not have lights. So they could only race until, I think it was 8:20, local time. The red flag only lasted 9 minutes and 41 seconds. But they get going again. Ryan Sieg, leading. I'm sure the girls were screaming at the TV for this one. Riley Herbst in 4th, moves up and clips Ryan Sieg. And he was, in fact, not clear, and spins into the wall, into the outside wall. Brandon Jones spins to avoid it, but it collects Sam Mayer and Cole Custer. They get back green. John Hunter, Nemechek leading. He holds them off to win stage 2. Then Carson Quapple is leading. It's Lawless Allen gets loose and collects Jeb Burton and Daniel Dye into the wall around 16th, bringing out a caution.
I will say, you know what sucks? As Lawless was actually doing really good in Haley's car, all for that to happen, he was running 10th.
I heard.
He was running 10th!
He actually, so he would have technically gotten stage points. He finished, I want to say, 5th in stage 1.
He did.
So he was doing really well for.
He was doing good. That actually kind of made me sad because I'm like, he was doing so good, and now he's not able to do anything now.
But it isn't until lap 117 that another caution comes out for Kyle Weatherman, blowing a right front and hits the turn 2 wall. And we have some light rain pass through again. It has to be red flagged. This red flag lasting 23 minutes and 51 seconds. Which sends it into overtime. And it is Justin Allgaier leading on the restart on the outside, Sammy Smith inside. And Justin Allgaier wins. And everybody was confused on why they threw the caution at the very end. It's because, so you have Caesar Barcarella, I think that's how you say his name, makes contact with Carson Quapple. and causes Carson to spin on the backstretch. Chandler Smith and Kyle Sieg get collected. Kyle Sieg actually flips. And the same exact scenario of how they flipped happened both Saturday and Monday in the cup race when they finished it. Luckily, Kyle is okay. He has been signed off to race again in Daytona this weekend. But very scary. I'm fairly close with that team, so as soon as I heard about it, I what?
I didn't even know who it was at first because I couldn't tell by the numbers. Because I watched the Xfinity race when we were out shopping, and so I didn't even know who it was until I was like, oh, I was like, never mind, now I know who it is. Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, that was kind of scary, to be honest. But luckily he is okay. On to the cup race. This race was also delayed due to rain. Practice was delayed and shortened, and qualifying was canceled because of rain. So through the metric, Denny Hamlin ends up getting pole. Tyler Reddick starts on the inside. The first caution for cause is on lap 39. Denny Hamlin slides up exiting turn 4 and spins it through the grass. And he even said himself on his own podcast, he was like, that was so dumb. Like, I should not have done that. But they get going again. It is Ryan Blaney to lead them to green, and he ends up winning stage 1, which, that's an extra playoff point into the jar. And so lap 51 is when they red flag the race due to rain. And they postpone it to Monday at 11 a.m. But they get back going on Monday. It ends up being Chase Elliott leading them to green. Kyle Busch on the inside. This is probably the first time that we've seen Kyle Busch running the front of the field this season so far.
All season long, the first time that he's actually been up front, and when his car's up front, he actually knows how to drive his car and is fast. Yeah.
It is
when he led a lap. He came over. I saw a thing. He came over the race. He said, "Oh yeah, we actually led a lap."
Yeah.
He said,
I watched Radioactivity, and I started laughing at that part, and I'm like, good job for him.
But it was lap 108 for the next caution. Joey Logano from 14th blows a right rear in turn 2. And he's slow back to the pit lane.
At those tires at that moment.
Do what now?
Because it was what was going on with those tires at the moment? Because it was Todd, AJ, and Joey.
Yes.
Who lost the tire physically off their car? Was it Joey?
Joey.
Okay.
The tire carcass came off.
They just showed the tire, and I was like, but whose is that? Okay, cool.
But after that, they all get back going. Ross Chastain leading this time. They have 5 to go in stage 2. Kyle Larson spins unassisted in turn 3 and causes a pileup, bringing out the yellow with multiple cars damaged, including Christopher Bell, Todd Gilliland, who were stopped on track. Chase Briscoe, Chris Buescher, Joey Logano, Bubba Wallace, Daniel Hemrick were included in that stack up. Todd Gilliland was given the free pass but ended up being out of the race. Joey Logano went to the garage for damage from that wreck. And Kyle Busch wins stage 2, his first stage win of 2024. They get back green with Kyle Busch leading on the outside, William Byron inside. Corey LaJoie tries to make a move on Noah Gragson, gets loose, slides sideways, basically gets caught like a parachute. Flips, slides, basically the same. Actually, I'm pretty sure they posted a picture that Corey and Kyle Sieg hit the same place on the wall.
They did. They hit the same place. They did.
But luckily he was okay. Did climb out of the car. They took Corey LaJoy's car to the R&D center, and they implemented something for this coming weekend, which we will get into. But when they get back going, it's William Byron leading. Lap 194, Martin Truex Jr. gets loose and spins from 4th in turn 4. They go into overtime. Tyler Reddick leading. The restart from the outside, William Byron inside. William Byron gets a push from Brad Keselowski, and Ross Chastain ends up spinning from 11th, bringing out the caution, and William Byron was technically the leader at that moment. William Byron leads the second overtime with Tyler Reddick inside. William Byron gets a push from Brad Keselowski, but checks up and drops back, as Tyler Reddick gets a push from Ty Gibbs and takes the lead on the backstretch. And so Tyler Reddick takes the white flag and holds off William Byron to win at Michigan. After, I can't remember if it was before the checkered flag or on the final lap, Chase Elliott and Ryan Blaney make contact, racing for 5th, and both drop to 15th and 18th. So, best friends going at it. So, we'll have to see.
I saw a thing on Twitter. Somebody interviewed Blaney. They were like, so what happened with there with the nine?
Did he go ask Chase? Is that what he said?
He was like, go ask the nine. He was like, go ask the nine. And then they said Chase like dipped out of there. He's like, they were going to try to go. He's like, Chase dipped out of there.
Does that surprise anybody though? Because Chase normally dips out. He hardly ever gets interviewed. They only can get him before the interview, unless sometimes when it's really hot and he's sitting on the wall, and then they can get him.
Yeah.
But on the plus side, Zane finished 7th, and Carson finished 10th, and Harrison actually finished 14th, and Noah finished 12th. So, to me, that's a win in my books, because all 4 of the boys finished within where I would have liked them to at least finish. And Ty finished 3rd, so that was pretty killer.
With that Truex caution, I think NASCAR got trigger happy with the caution. Because all Truex did was just tap the wall. That's all he did was just tap the wall. He tapped it pretty hard. I'll say he tapped it pretty hard, and he kept the steady pace going. Where was that caution out at Indy when Ryan Preece was stopped on the middle of the track? Where was that at?
It didn't exist because NASCAR picks and chooses their favorites of who they want to throw the caution for. We all know that.
I get why Tyler Reddick was mad over the radio. Tyler was mad. Because it was stupid. Why did they throw the caution? Because Truex kept a steady pace. Truex could have just cruised around.
Well, it's no different when Kyle Busch barely tapped the wall and they threw that caution out. Everybody was like, did they seriously just throw the caution because he tapped the wall ever so lightly? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, NASCAR picks and chooses who the favorite is.
NASCAR got, I think even Denny Hamlin said NASCAR got trigger happy with it. I think it was Denny that said it on his podcast. Yeah, NASCAR got trigger happy with it.
It wouldn't surprise me because Denny Hamlin definitely gives you what you want. He'll tell you, he'd be like, some of these cautions are stupid. And you're like, I actually agree with you on that, so it's fine. Yeah.
But, so something we didn't talk about last week was something that happened after on pit road. Joey Logano, not in complete control of his car. Something in the rear of his car was broken coming down pit road. But you had the Austin Dillon family standing in the middle of one of the lanes on pit road. On the in-car camera, it looks a lot more dramatic. But from the side, standing on the pit wall, you could tell he was nowhere close to hitting any of the people. But unfortunately, he did get a $50,000 fine for that. But on the other hand, sure, okay, they're Austin Dillon's family. It was Whitney Dillon. I want to say her name's Miriam. Paul Swans. Like they were standing out there.
I think it was just more to do because those two were sitting out there and they had their little kids with them. I think that's really what it was.
Okay, why would you be standing in an active pit lane, with children in your arms? Hard card or not, why would you be standing in an active pit lane?
I mean, that is true. Also, when they asked Joey about it, Joey actually did say that something broke in his car.
Well, that's the thing. He was out of control of the rear of his car. He did not have control of the rear of his car.
He said that, and he said he had control of his car too. I think I saw where he said he had some control of it.
Like,
because I know he did say something was wrong with his car.
Well, yeah, the rear end of his car, had to have been like a toe link or control arm, something, because it was not riding correctly.
No.
Brad Perez is going to be making his NASCAR Xfinity debut on a 1.5 mile on September 28th at Kansas for Alpha Prime. Legacy has announced a contract extension for Eric Jones for a multi-year deal. So he'll be with the 43 at least through 2026. Connor Daly is going to be driving the 78 for the remainder of the season. Unfortunate news, Kurt Busch was arrested for a DWI, as well as careless and reckless driving and speeding in Iredell County. But he was released on this past Tuesday. And there's the giant debate on who's the better driver, Kyle Larson or Max Verstappen. I feel like you cannot compare the two because they are not in the same discipline of driving. Like, you can say that Kyle Larson is the more well-rounded driver because he races dirt, he races asphalt, road course racing. Like, he has quite a bit on his resume of what he can drive. And then, like, Max Verstappen is good in his own right.
Yeah, Kyle Larson just won his third national Knoxville championship race, so
like they're all you have different disciplines within racing. I feel like you can't compare them because they don't race the same thing.
Well, people always compare them every single time, and that's like, you can't compare them.
This past weekend, Venturini Motorsports had 4 women drivers racing for them at Springfield. They were racing 5 cars in total. AJ Allmendinger is set to return to full-time Cup Series racing in 2025 with Colleague in the number 16. The Haas factory team has officially announced their Xfinity drivers, which will be Sheldon Creed and Sam Mayer.
I'm just glad it's not Haley Deegan.
It sounds
they're not using the 98 car.
Yes, they're
retired. They're not using the 98 car.
Sheldon's gonna be in the 00 and Sam's gonna be in the 41.
Because Riley made a tweet saying RIP 98.
Yeah.
So unless wherever he's going, he gets to keep his 98, which would make me very thrilled if he got to keep his 98.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, because he made a big deal about that. He was like RIP 98, and I'm like, what do you mean? And then I saw that he quoted Haas Factory's tweet, and I was like, oh. Interesting.
We'll see. Trackhouse is going to be adding a third car in 2025. Matt, I want to say Gold. Hopefully that's how you say his name, is going to be making his Truck Series debut with Nice in the 44 at Milwaukee Mile this weekend. So, big news. The Clash is going to be going to Bowman Gray Stadium. Everybody is very excited about that, that they're going back to grassroots racing.
It's only 15 minutes away from me.
Oh, so you're very close. Yeah,
That's
right down the road.
It's right down the road.
It's like a million miles away from me.
And Gus Dean is going to be the driver in the number 15 Xfinity car this weekend at Daytona.
I'm on the wait list for pre-sale tickets for the Bowman Gray.
Ooh.
Okay.
Well, so we'll find out.
I just hope they're not expensive. Which they probably will be, but
we'll see. And Joey Gaze is actually going to be driving in the Daytona Cup race this weekend in the 44. Parker Kligerman was issued a L1 level penalty due to the spoiler on the car for Michigan. It was a loss of 20 points and 5 playoff points, and crew chief Patrick was fined $25,000. There is a rumor that Robert Schwartzman, who is a Ferrari reserve driver, as far as I'm aware, might be racing for Prema in IndyCar next year. RCR lost the appeal on the Austin Dillon situation, except for the spotter suspension was reduced to only one race.
But they're going to another higher up.
They're gonna go to the official appeal officer.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's like,
get over it.
Honestly, that's how I feel. They're like, if you lost this one, what makes you think you're gonna get another one? Also, Zane and Harrison were the biggest movers in like the cup race.
Ayo.
They were plus 20 points. The biggest movers.
So, NASCAR is mandating a right side rear window air deflector this weekend after evaluating Corey LaJoie's flip. This component increases liftoff speed of the car in early part of the spin. NASCAR says parts have been wind tunnel tested and quantified, and will just be on the left side. And this past weekend, we're about to go over the IndyCar stuff, but it was a gateway sweep for the number 2. So Austin Cindric won the NASCAR race, and Joseph Newgarden won the IndyCar race. For the upcoming races, Daytona, Atlanta, and Talladega, NBC Sports announces it will show every green flag lap. So they're going to be doing the side-by-side commercials rather than full screen commercials, so we don't miss anything. And
no, Fox needs to take notes.
Fox will never take notes, because you come back from Fox and you're like, oh, nice, there's a caution, and then they don't even show the caution, or they do, and it's not even the right caution, and you're like, how'd you get out of the race then?
Fox shows like 5 or 10 laps and then right back to commercial.
Literally, for real, it's annoying. That's why I like NBC better. That, and we get the post-race coverage.
NBC will show at least like maybe 50 or 55 laps, and then you'll get your commercial, and then you'll get another like 50 or 55 laps, and you'll get a side-by-side, and then you'll get...
And then after that, you get the post-race coverage, so they still interview like the top however many.
Mm-hmm.
So that one's great.
Olympic gold medalist swimmer Caleb Dressel is going to be at the Cup race in Daytona this weekend. Apparently, he grew up about 75 miles north of Daytona. NBC Sports has named Lee Diffie as its lead Cup Series play-by-play commentator. And he is going to be starting this weekend at Daytona. Some pretty big and sad news. A very famous dirt track racer, Scott Bloomquist, died last week in a plane crash on his family farm. So that like shook the racing community after hearing about that. David Malukas has signed with AJ Foyt Racing for a multi-year contract to drive for them in 2025. There were a couple cars that got 9 position starting grid penalties for unapproved engine changes in IndyCar. The number 9, 10, 51, and 60. For the IndyCar weekend, David Malukas was fastest in practice 1. Scott McLaughlin got pole. Colton Herta actually crashed in qualifying. Pato O'Ward was fastest in practice 2. For the race, the first caution was on lap 8 with Ed Carpenter and Catherine Legg making contact. Lap 17, Renus VK checks up Connor Daly into the back of him, Kyle Kirkwood into Daly. Lap 86, Kip and Simpson spins. Lap 196, Joseph Newgarden spins. 21 laps to go. Will Power squeezes David Malukas to the apron, causing him to crash. Will Power blamed David, even though David couldn't get any closer to the bottom. Like, quite literally, David basically started crying in an interview because he was talking about how Will Power yelled at him. Like, I get, like, David Malukas, I think he's 22 years old, and he probably looked up to Will Power, like, growing up, watching him race. So, like, being yelled at by some of the people that you looked up to, that would probably be really heartbreaking, but also, there's no crying in racing, okay? You just kind of have to get over it. You gotta move on to the next.
That is true.
With 10 laps to go, Alexander Rossi, Will Power, Jack Harvey, Connor Daly, where it seems that Joseph kind of backed up the field and it kind of accordioned, and Alexander Rossi went basically up over the back of Will Power, crashing him, and it caught Connor Daly and Jack Harvey in it. Once it was red flagged to clear up the cars and the debris just so it didn't end under caution, Will Power jumps out of his car and flips Joseph the Bird. And it was caught on camera. The race ends with 5 cars on the lead lap. Joseph Newgarden wins, Scott McLaughlin second, and Linus Lundqvist in third. So I have like a little intro for our guest that we're about to have join us. So our guest, his name is Lance Griffith. He races legend cars, micro sprints, and has taken on the challenge of testing an ARCA car at Daytona. When he isn't seated in a race car, he is still at the track fulfilling his day-to-day duties of public relations officer and social media manager in the NASCAR Truck Series for Rayum Brothers Racing. Did you guys see that post that I think it was RFK posted, and it was like all the Ford drivers, and they put Justin Haley right next to Austin Cindric? And I was like, they
I
did Justin so wrong with that. Justin's my
didn't see
height.
I didn't see that. Well, I know he's short
Oh no,
because
he's yeah.
the one time that Molly and I met him, he only came to like right here on me.
Yeah. He's fairly he's a short king.
I'm taller than him.
I think I'm taller than him.
Probably. He's short.
Hello.
There we go. I already did like a little intro for you, so you didn't have to hear all that.
It was great.
I feel like it was very informative.
Definitely.
Okay.
I can only imagine.
Listen. Okay? I don't necessarily want to be a like presenter in NASCAR, but like I know how to introduce people. Okay?
I'm trusting your abilities.
Okay. So, we're going to talk about your racing and then just like a little bit about your job. Okay.
Cool.
Okay. So, let's start a little further back before you got into NASCAR. You played golf. And that's kind of how you got into this. So, I want to what are your achievements in golf, cuz I know there's actually some big ones.
I mean, I don't know if I'd call them big, but I played golf in high school. I wasn't terrible, so I got an offer to play at Pfeiffer University, and I played there for a year, and then got hurt playing, so then backed away from college golf, but I still play whenever I have time.
Your records that you've got.
I mean, I've got a swing speed record. I got to look at it again. There might have been someone that beat me, but the last I checked, I had a swing speed record. It was like 125 miles an hour.
Or at least for that point in time.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fall 2018. So it was a little bit ago.
So, through golf, is that how you met the people in NASCAR? Is that how you got like familiar?
Yeah, so I was really good at the course that I played at, and because I played there so much, I knew the course, so they'd put me with a lot of the high profile people, which were mainly NASCAR drivers. So that was how I at least got acquainted with them because I saw them away from the racetrack.
Like meeting those people, you started cycling, got into go-karts. Um when in this timeline do you meet Josh?
Well, actually, I didn't meet Josh first, so I was taking pictures of a legend car team, and one of the guys that was driving was friends with the team manager at RBR. So he and I met, and then that was how that kind of started. I didn't meet Josh until later.
I actually have your legend car stats here.
Oh boy.
Um,
She dug deep.
listen,
She does. She does.
I do my research, okay?
Yeah.
You have gotten 25 top 10s, 12 top 5s, 8 podiums with a best finish of second in the Southern National.
Yeah, that one still pisses me off, but yeah. Second. We'll call it that.
Can you walk us through last year's summer shootout? I feel like that's probably a core memory in your career.
Yeah, I mean, it's a core memory until it wasn't during round 9. But I ran the shootout. I live in Concord, so I live probably 15 minutes from the Speedway. So that's kind of my home race. I wanted to run that one just because it was close to home. It made a little bit of sense financially to just drive 15 minutes instead of 8 hours down to Florida. So I ran that. It was my first laps at Charlotte. I had no idea what I was doing. I was just trying to figure it out. Got faster every single week, every single race. Didn't make a lot of A mains. Going into round 9, I had the fastest speed that I had pretty much gotten all summer. Went into a B main, and I was battling for like 4th, fourth. It was right around the transfer spot, and I got hit and spun, and then I got hit again. And whenever I got hit again, I just remember everything going upside down, and then that was it. I flipped 3 times, landed on my roof. It was not fun. Um, I don't remember much of it, but I'm lucky I walked away from it. I mean, US Legend Cars and INEX, they build a very safe race car, and I'm lucky to have gotten out of that and still be sitting here today. I mean, these cars go upside down a lot and some more violently than mine, but I don't know. I didn't think it was going to happen, and it was strange how it happened because the day that I flipped was a year to the day that I had bought the car, which was kind of strange to me in a way. But yeah, pretty much destroyed the car. I ended up being okay. Nothing really too crazy. I think I just got knocked out and got a concussion, but I'm pretty much 100% now. Car was pretty much destroyed except for the motor and the rear gear. So I was able to pull those. That was pretty much it. Shootout was a crazy time. Round 10, we had an autograph session, and I didn't have a car because it was destroyed. So I brought all the fenders and the pieces of fenders out to the autograph session along with my hero cards and tried to give the fenders away. There was a few people that took the offer, but still got a few of them in my garage.
How long did it take you to get back into the car after that? Like into a race car?
Honestly, it wasn't that long. I tested a Legend at Wake County like 2.5 weeks after. And then I tested a Pro Late model with Josh at Hickory. That was probably a month and a half, 2 months after.
Like, does your flip, like, did it affect, like, your view on getting back in the car? Like,
No, not really. Just made things a little bit harder financially to do it. That was pretty much it.
you didn't
Um,
really have a car anymore, so, like, I
yeah,
guess.
I mean, I bought a micro sprint like 3 weeks after the flip and just started turning wrenches on it. And I'm trying to get it up and running now. So it didn't scare me because those cars flip way more than Legend cars do.
You mentioned you made some pretty big jumps after that testing the Pro Late model and the ARCA test in Daytona. How, like, how did it feel doing that?
That was cool. That was a cool experience. I interned with Josh for 3 years and didn't take a paycheck from him, mainly because I understood what he was trying to build, and I didn't want him to feel like he had to pay me because it was back when RBR was smaller than we are now. Um, so because of that, he put me in an ARCA car for the Daytona test, which is something I never thought was going to happen. That was nuts. Um, Built the car a little bit by myself. I put the drive shaft in, put the gear in, put the headers on. So that was cool to do that. Um, had my grandpa's name on the side of the car because he had died about 2 months before that. So that was a little bit of an emotional time. But it was fun. There's no other feeling like going 175 miles an hour around Daytona. I mean, I was doing 2.5 miles in under a minute, which is pretty cool. But it was fun. I learned a lot. Saw the behind the scenes from a driver's perspective, which was cool to see. That kind of helped me with my day job to kind of see what all a driver does throughout a day. Even if it was a test session, there was still media there. But yeah, that was fun. I liked it. I want to do it again.
This makes your, what, fourth season with Ram, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you do public relations, social media, graphics, like
I do a lot.
you put
I
cars
do.
together.
Yeah. I mean, we're still small, so everyone pitches in where it's necessary. Like tomorrow morning, as soon as I get there, I got to drop the hauler gate and then do some stuff, and then the hauler's got to leave really early in the morning. So I got to kind of be on top of that, and then I'll probably have to print some stuff and then edit some videos and kind of do some of that stuff. I do probably four people's jobs. I don't complain too much. Sometimes I do, but I like it.
You studied sports management, so it's kind of like what you do is in your wheelhouse. But if you were still able to pursue your own racing, would you want to continue like working as PR and social media? Is that something that like you enjoy doing along with racing?
Yeah, I mean, I like it, but I mean, the dream is always going to be to race. And Josh has been really supportive of the racing that I'm trying to do. He knows what I want to do in racing and behind the wheel. Um, so we'll see. I mean, a lot of the job can honestly be done from anywhere, at least if I'm getting pictures. I can post stuff, I can keep track of timing and scoring, I can kind of do everything. Um, so I think it'd be cool to kind of do it at the same time. It'd be a lot because I'd be traveling the country and then also doing social media for a track, who knows where, based on where I'm at. I think it'd be fun to do it, but it'd just be hard logistically.
So you've got to work with some pretty well-known people while working with Room. Two of the biggest names, Frankie Muniz and Daniel Kvyat. Um,
Uh,
so that had to have been pretty cool.
yeah, that was fun. It was intimidating during my first year with the team, at least full time, going to all the races. Um, we that was the year we ran two trucks, an Xfinity car, and a Cup car at Daytona. So it was very hectic for the limited people that we had. So we had a car in the 500, and then we ran two cars at a few other tracks, mainly road courses. Um, but yeah, working with Danny was cool. He's a cool dude. Um, it was funny. He really wanted to try Culver's like his first day here. I don't really know why. That was just kind of his thing. It was like, I got to try Culver's. So took him to Culver's, and then it was cool because I got to show him around Mooresville and like everything and where all the parts come from and things like that. So he and I connected really well. He and I still talk occasionally now, but the time zone difference and what all he's racing is crazy nowadays. And then Frankie, I mean, I would say it's been cooler to work with Frankie than it was for Danny, just because I grew up watching Frankie on TV, and it was like I told him the first time that he walked into the shop, I looked at him and I said, I just got to say it now. I'm a huge fan of the TV stuff, really big fan. And he was like, I appreciate that. And then we just went straight into business. That was pretty much how I did it. But he's cool. He's very open to changes and things like that. And he's really adaptable. So we'll see what happens coming up. I know he's got two more races coming up. So we'll see.
What's your favorite aspect of your job, like with the team?
I'd say the people. I mean, we're basically a family if you think about it. We are on the road every single week together almost, and if we're not, we're in the shop until late at night and we're getting there early in the morning. So I would say the people. It's cool having that kind of second family away from the family at home. It does suck sometimes being away from home for so long. Like Friday, we're flying to Milwaukee and we're not flying back until Monday morning. So it's gonna be a pretty long weekend for us. Um, but I like it. It's cool because I can relate to them. They can relate to me. We're all basically the same age, couple year difference, but we're the youngest average age team in the NASCAR National Series. So we're proud of that, but at the same time, it's cool to kind of have people your same age in the same team.
Before we get into like a couple little random questions, do you have any plans in your racing for the future? Do you have anything that you're trying to do?
Yeah, I mean, some stuff I can't talk about, but let's just say I'm really liking dirt racing.
Okay.
Really liking it. It's a lot of fun. So we'll see.
Once you get that micro up and
Yeah, don't even get me started on that thing. I've taken it out probably 4 times now, and it just does not want to cooperate. It's perfect in first gear, no issues whatsoever. Soon as I pull it into second gear, it just dies. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. So I have no idea. I gotta figure it out. I'm probably gonna take the motor apart when I get home from Milwaukee.
You said you were liking dirt racing. Like, what's your end goal in your racing? Like, is there something
I mean,
specific you want to race?
I just want to make a living driving race cars. Like it doesn't really matter what it is. It's just something about being in a race car and it just being you and it's just you, man, and machine. There's nothing else on planet Earth like it. And especially on the dirt side, because you don't have radios, you don't have a spotter. It is legitimately just you and the car, and then everyone else around you. So it just that place of solitude that can also turn into a place that's adrenaline filled is something that I didn't think would match until I buckled into my first race car.
Do you have a driver that you would be starstruck over if you were to ever meet them?
Honestly, not really, because I've worked with so many of them. Like Frankie, yeah, but that's because like I'm a 4-year-old now. This is Mount right in front of me. Holy shit! But like,
Actually,
I
I
mean,
think I
not
think
really.
I think that would have been the same reaction as the girls. Like,
Oh, it was nuts. That was so cool. Um, but not really. I mean, at the end of the day, they're normal people, and I can relate to them on a level that not many people can. So they're at the end of the day, they're just normal people.
including any type of dirt car, any type of race car, what is one that you would like to drive, like to try driving?
Like to try anything?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Um,
Well, it can't be a Formula car because apparently you hate Formula One, and it.
yeah, I'm not a big Formula One guy. Um, gosh, I don't know. I'd like to drive an LMP one or like a Daytona prototype or whatever around Le Mans. I think that'd be cool. You're hauling ass down the Mulsanne. Like it's insane. Going like 230 miles an hour.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
So, do you have a favorite track? Just
Golly. You're making me think for these questions.
that's the point.
Favorite ever?
Oh my god, I thought my chair was. Yes, I just like any your favorite track. It doesn't have to be one that you've raced on.
Okay. I mean, I would say Daytona just because there's a lot of memories there and the facility is really, really nice. And it's really easy to get in and out of the garages, even though it's a really big racetrack. So yeah, I'd probably say Daytona. Not
Okay.
to mention I've driven around it.
What about your least favorite? What's one you absolutely
Hmm,
despise?
I don't know. Not the biggest Richmond fan. I will say that.
Is that is that due to like playing iRacing?
No,
or
no, it's just
or just
it's in like not I don't want to say it's in a bad part of town, but it's in a place that isn't really Richmond, and it's just not a lot of facilities there. It wasn't the best when it came to hauler parking. Like it just
so
there
it's
were a
based.
lot of logistical factors that went into it that was just like, oh God, this is miserable. I want to go home.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of another track that's like that. Like a
Martinsville.
Martinsville. Yeah. There's
Darlington.
literally.
I do not like Darlington and I don't like IRP
I
because
mean,
we don't have our haulers in the racetrack. So like at IRP, we would have to walk under the racetrack all the way around turns 4, turns 3, all the way down the back straightaway, through a parking lot, and then get to the hauler.
Darlington doesn't have a. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, they pull the trucks out of there.
They pull the trucks out.
For the cup.
Mhm.
Mm,
We
That's-
unload in the cup garage, and then they pull the haulers out. It's
Yeah.
annoying.
that would be annoying.
It sucks. I'm pretty sure there's a clip on TV of me walking down the back straightaway as the trucks are like 10 feet from me going $1.40. I think it's
Okay.
somewhere. I don't know. I was the only person doing that. I thought I was in the wrong place for a second. And I was like, oh, wait, I have a hard card.
So, I have one last thing, unless the girls have anything. But do you have any like pre-race rituals or a routine that you follow that you do like every time?
I mean, I always put my right glove on first. Never put my left hand on first. Always the right glove that goes on first. Um, it's the right glove, and then I clip the left Hans first. That's pretty much it. I do that every single time. I don't know if it's just habit or superstition. It's just kind of weird.
That's what I was about to ask. I was like, how
I don't really know.
I would not be able to be like
I
subconsciously.
don't really do anything. I just get in the car and drive fast. Like, I don't
Fair.
know. My
Like,
specialty is hauling ass. What can I say?
well,
Okay.
I mean, some people like they listen to like maybe a specific song or
I have
like
a playlist, but I always forget to listen to it, or I'm on the phone with somebody pulling into the racetrack. So, like,
fair.
then at that point, it's just lock in and drive.
But that is a little strange though. I would like
Yeah, I don't know why I do it. Like, if you ever see me put my gloves on, I always put the right one on first. Always. I don't know why. I just do. Y'all been quiet.
they're always quiet. Unless
You're just here.
unless you're talking about Riley Herbst, Carson Hocevar, Noah Gragson, or for Lakota Harrison Burton.
You can stop there.
Oh God. Not Hosovar. Yikes. Look, I get he's tall, but like,
You have to join us in our picks.
oh
For-
boy.
So what we do is
I'm not picking the trucks. I'll pick Xfinity and Cup. I'm not gonna pick the trucks.
Well, you have to join us in both IndyCar and Formula One. So
Oh, okay. Formula One, easy. Max Verstappen. Next
no,
question.
hold on. We have a specific way we do things, okay? So
Look, I already made my pick. I don't know what to
Well-
tell you. All right. Mm.
listen.
Listen.
So
Okay.
on NASCAR and IndyCar, we choose a winner and a long shot. Okay? In Formula
Okay.
One, we exclude Max Verstappen.
Now you're making
Because
it
we-
hard.
Because we know he's gonna win.
We
Now I gotta think.
we
Come on.
believe Max Verstappen is going to
Oh,
win.
okay.
So that's we exclude Max from our picks.
That is true.
And
Okay,
then,
Lewis.
then we do
Not really, no.
a winner and a long shot that translates to also second and third on the podium.
So I'm just picking top 3 in F1.
If you're saying Max for first, then technically yes.
Okay. Yeah, well, obviously. You kidding me?
Okay.
As the Pope
So
Catholic.
what? God. Okay. So are you opting out of trucks? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I'm gonna opt out of trucks. I'm
Why?
not gonna pick trucks. Because I'm on a truck team. That just
So?
doesn't seem right. That
We-
doesn't seem right because you never know
well,
what'll happen.
Our
Look,
last
it may be Milwaukee, it may be a short track, and it may be the start of the playoffs.
okay,
but
so our last guest was an Xfinity driver. So the deal we made was they could pick for Xfinity, but they could not choose themselves. So if that's the case, you could pick for trucks. You just can't choose either of the Rayum trucks.
okay, fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
All right, whatever.
All right. Do you want to go first, or do you want the girls to go first? Because I know
Yeah.
Molly's already got hers written down.
Y'all go first.
Me too.
Wow, on the notebook. There it is.
Gotta keep track.
Hey,
Okay,
look,
so
at
the
least it's pen and paper. You never know what'll happen to your phone.
trucks are going to be at Milwaukee Mile. Go ahead. Who's got Christian? Who's got Corey? That's how it goes.
I have Christian.
I got Corey.
Grand and finger.
Okay. Oh gosh. Now that means
Solid.
me. Ah! Okay, wait. I know who I want to pick for my long shot. I'm gonna go.
Sid.
I'll go. You know what? I'll go Sammy Smith. Just because. And then my long shot, I'm gonna go William Sawalich.
I picked Raja as my long shot.
I picked Taylor as my long shot.
Solid.
Tanner.
Okay.
I almost said Tanner and then I didn't.
Well, we attempt to like not pick the same drivers as each other. It doesn't always happen, but
Well, I kind of noticed that pattern.
okay. So across the country, Xfinity and Cup are going to Daytona. All right, who's got Riley? I'm guessing it's Molly.
I have him as my long shot.
I have him as my winner.
Okay.
Hmm.
Let's see.
And then I have Sammy Smith as my long shot.
I'm surprised you didn't choose Jesse.
I'll have Jesse as my winner.
Okay. I mean, he won at Talladega. He's won at a super speedway, so like, it's possible.
Justin Allgaier winner. I'll do Parker Kligerman long shot.
Those aren't bad.
Bestie Parker.
Dude, love.
Gonna be honest, I'm actually kind of curious to see how Gustine does. The girls are gonna be mad at me for this one. I'm gonna go Austin Hill.
Duke.
I'm gonna go Austin Hill and Anthony Alfredo.
Okay.
We'll see how that goes. On to the Cup Series. Okay, who's got Noah?
I do.
You got what? Do you have Ryan Blaney too?
No, I have Todd as my long shot.
So there's okay. I feel like you can understand like where this is going. They have a specific drivers that they Okay. So you have
also come Daytona, I have no idea who to pick because it's literally anybody's race because everybody
I'd say
gets
Hamlin winner. I'll do Ty Gibbs long shot.
Okay.
Believe it or not, I have Harrison as the winner, and then I have Zane as a long shot. I don't ever say his name.
Okay. I was about to say, bro, you never say it. You just jinxed him.
You're right, I did.
Okay. I am gonna go William Byron winner. Austin Cindric long shot. He would have I'm telling you, he would have swept Daytona in 2022 if Austin Dillon did not like almost crash him. Okay? Just saying. I would die on that hill.
Just saying.
Okay. Lance, are you aware of IndyCar drivers?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Enough to make 2 picks, yeah.
Okay. All right. What Penske people do you guys have?
I have Scott McLaughlin as my winner.
Okay.
I have Alex Flo.
Oh, okay.
Joseph Newgarden.
I'm gonna go. Wait, is Portland's a road course, right?
Oh, I made the wrong pick.
I think it's the road course. Let me see. Yes, it is the road course.
Yep.
You know, I'm gonna go Pato Award.
I have him as my long shot.
Like
Alex Pillow is my long shot.
Pietro Fittipaldi. You heard it here.
what? Bro, that's about as bad as you choosing Santino Ferrucci.
Look, I know the guy. All right, I
Okay,
gotta make a pick there.
Okay.
I gotta
Fair.
make a pick there.
Fair. I gotta pick my. You know, I'm gonna go Marcus Armstrong. Come on, his F2 skills need to come out in this race. Okay. Okay. Wait, so it was Alex Pillow and Pato, Scott McLaughlin, Alex Pillow,
Mm-hmm.
Joseph Newgarden, Fittipaldi, Pato, and Armstrong. Okay. All right. Now, over to Zandvoort, Max Verstappen's home race in the Netherlands. I really don't want anybody else other than Max to win this one, to be honest. You know, but I'm gonna go Lando because I kind of, even though I'm a Max Verstappen fan, I kind of want Lando to challenge Max for that championship. So
I also have Lando.
Me too.
Solid.
Wait, are we still picking second and third, or are we still?
Yes.
Is Max still on the pick?
So okay.
Still picking third? Okay.
So yes. So the way it works, we exclude Max because we believe Max is going to win, like basically every race. So technically, technically we're choosing second and third on the podium, but it's still technically winner and long shot. So meaning if the person you choose as winner wins, you get that. Or if the person you choose as winner that translates to second place, if they get second place, you get that. Does that make sense?
Fair enough. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Gosh. I'm gonna go.
I had Charles as my long shot.
I was about to say Carlos.
I have Oscar.
Sergio Perez. Look, I don't know. I don't watch Formula One, so I have no idea.
I am the resident Checo hater.
Oh boy, so that was the wrong pick. Oh boy.
I always say that I am a Max Verstappen fan. I am not a Red Bull fan. And right now I'm not a McLaren fan either because whatever they did to get Oscar Piastri's win, don't even get me started on that team. Now, so this guest has actually been informed of our outro. So, are you prepared?
I gotta go get a die cast.
Okay.
Here, hang on. I totally forgot about
Bro, I already have my list for Bristol.
die cast
Bro,
acquired.
you already got your picks for Bristol?
What?
Is that what you just said?
No, I said I already have my list made what I have to bring to Bristol.
Oh, I thought you said you already had your picks, and I'm like, bro, this is like a month away.
I mean, would you be surprised if I had my picks already?
No.
Exactly.
No. Okay.
To be fair, I already have my picks for Martinsville, so.
Jesus.
No big deal.
Bro, I think of them right on the spot. Like right then and there. That's why it takes me so long.
I know you do. I pre-plan and I write them out.
Okay. So, let's do this outro. It goes, peace.
Okay.
Love.
I did.
And
But normally it's a problem.
get your car ready.
Okay.
And race cars.
You were the only one that didn't go that way.
Me?
Come on. Yes.
Oh,
You.
it's backwards. So like, Molly and Lakota went the correct way as me, and then you were the one that was backwards.
What?
No shot.
Yeah, you were.
Oh my god. All right.
Do what? Do you want to do it over? Do you...
Yeah. Let's just
Okay,
do it
okay,
over.
okay. Do you want to do the full thing, or do you just want to do the race car?
No, just do the race car.
Okay.
I already
okay.
have it in mind.
Do
Okay.
the-
I go this way?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay. And race cars. There we go.
There it is.
Beautiful.
Good night, everybody.
Peace.